I know that when bad news hits, we are often discouraged by it. Everything's going good throughout the day, and then you get a phone call that you didn't expect. You get a situation that is arising. You checked your bank account. You figured you had enough to cover lunch, and you look and you see red on the screen. Has anyone ever seen red when they check their account statements? Is it just me sometime? Have you seen red before? I've seen red before. I've swiped in faith, knowing it's red as a college student, especially. Swipe, and I'm like, boy, I pray that this goes through. Someone knows what I'm talking about out there. But this is an encouragement to you coming from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 28, verses 19 through 20. I'm reading from the NIV. It says, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." I want to park right in the sentence in verse 20 where it says, always. Notice it says always, all the time. Jesus had been crucified. He had been resurrected from the dead. He resurrected from the dead. Some of the men that in the town where he met the disciples, where he was talking to them in this moment in chapter 28 on a hill, he met them at an appointed time because some people were like, in order to encourage other people that the resurrection didn't take place, we're going to give them some money. It's like somebody giving you a bribe to say you didn't experience what we thought that you experienced. They saw the crucifixion. They saw that Jesus had died. They saw that he was buried. Mary Magdalene and Mary, his mother, went to the grave. An angel comes to them and says, he's not here, he's risen. And they're like, go, and the angel's telling them where to go to meet him, and they meet Jesus, and Jesus is speaking to them, and they're like, they're amazed. But there's some people that was paid off to believe that the resurrection didn't take place, that someone stole his body. That was the resurrection. And so there's a population of people that believe in that because of the beginning of chapter 28. The end of the chapter 28, he's speaking to his disciples, his boys, his fellas, his crew. And he's saying, I'm with you always. That means you shouldn't have to worry about a thing. I'm with you always to the very end of the age. That means that's not some ways, that's not conditional, that's not sometimes I'm going to leave you. That means I'm always with you. And regardless of the situation that you're going in today, he's with you always. He wants you to go forth. Jesus' great commission is to go forth, make disciples, share the gospel of Jesus Christ. Let people know through your actions and your words who and what you believe. And you shouldn't worry about how that's going to happen or how can I take my little knowledge of the Bible and be able to use it. All it takes is a little word. One word from God changes our situation. And so with the Spirit of God in us, we're made in his image and his likeness. Our words can change someone's life based upon the power and the authority that he's put in us. So never think that, oh, I don't really know that much. You know enough. You've been through some things that God has brought you through, and he was with you always. Go Old Testament. Back in the Old Testament, God says, and I believe that's Deuteronomy, it says, I'll never leave you, never forsake you. It's mentioned several different times, but Deuteronomy's coming to my mind. He never leaves us. And before his disciples, he's saying, I'm with you always to the very end of the age. He's with us always. No situation is too big for him. He's with you always to the very end of the age. Don't you forget it.